Hello, lovely Gemini. I was at a friend's Gemini birthday party over the weekend, and I love you lot because it was just one of those, I marvel at your energy reserves, and I want you to tell me in the comment section where you get it from because I want some. So this is my friend, okay, and considering that when it was my birthday, this is your monthly reading for July, by the way, or it will be, when it was my birthday, I literally sat there and just quietly wept. You know, I'm a Pisces, I got all melancholic. My friend who's a Gemini has a birthday and she has it at this really bougie gin distillery. It's massive, loads of people are going, it's Peter Pan themed and everybody wore fancy dress, like really dressed up, and she really dressed up. And then if that wasn't enough, it was like a couple of days before she said, oh, I'm just getting some of the people in my comedy group, we're going to do a quick stand-up comedy. Just to like break the ice at the beginning. And I was thinking, this would give me a nervous breakdown. But actually, she knows such a bunch of eclectic and fabulous people that it was a brilliant night. So I'm jealous, frankly. I'm jealous of you, Gemini, and I'm getting it out there early on. I'm getting some kind of revenge, because look what your first card is. Oh, God. Before your reading, I had a couple of things come to me, okay? One was strike while the iron is hot. That really came to me, like in a sort of visual of the iron out of Monopoly. Strike while the iron is hot. And I feel like you had an opportunity or something before to do something and you maybe overthought it. And I think that might be a Gemini thing. That might be your Achilles heel. Let me know. Is overthinking, analysis paralysis, is that your thing? So you need to take a quiet look at something, okay? You need to take a quiet look, and we're going to look at your overall energy. We're going to look at what is shifting, and we're going to look what's shifting emotionally and mentally, and then we'll take a dedicated look at your love life, okay? But this is in the mix. This is in the mix, Gemini people. As always, there's an extended link below if you want to go deeper, especially into love. But let's just start here with your core energies. And one very unpopular one is that Hermit card. Okay? That doesn't mean you need to go put a sackcloth on, lock yourself in a cave. You're a Gemini, it's not going to happen. But there's something about passing out how you feel about something and maybe tuning into instinct rather than mental thought. Okay? Next card, the King of Cups. Now, I love the King of Cups. He's been knocking around a lot of readings recently, I've noticed. Sometimes the King of Cups can represent somebody romantically, because he's a bit of a cad. I mean, look at him. He's all decked out, isn't he? He's got a puffball sleeve and he's pretty comfortable with himself if he's got a puffball sleeve. And I'm loving that on him. He's got his boots are amazing. Look at those boots. He's got a look. He's got a look going on with the balloons and all the rest of it. Now, Mercury, your ruler, is moving through Leo this month, which is giving you power and intensity, okay? And it's giving your voice and your decision-making ability power and intensity too. I don't know how the King of Cups fits into this. Sometimes this is about you finding something emotional about yourself. You're finding out an emotional truth. It could be about yourself. It could be about someone else. It could be about whatever situation you find yourself in. It's a general reading. It will be different for different Geminis. But there's something here about finding the light of the truth in that Hermit's lamp. Either about the King of Cups or about some sort of emotional test or question. Let's take another card and have a look. Yes. Giddy up. Yeehaw. You get the Knight of Wands. Now, we have a Leo new moon on the 24th, towards the end of the month. And I feel like for all signs, but especially for you, there's going to be a chance to giddy up and speak up, and speak your truth, particularly towards the end of the month rather than the beginning. The beginning is starting out in a sort of dark cave mentality, but not in a dark cave itself. Okay, coming to terms with something emotional, working out your feelings for something or somebody. It could be for your job, it could be for your house, it could be romantic feelings. We'll look at that in the love reading in a minute. But it's you not knowing through analysis, not knowing through thinking, but knowing through feeling, which is not, sorry, someone's just moving a bin, which is not maybe your natural territory. Very spiritual here, isn't it? You're like, yes, I tell you with my crystal ball, and then someone's moving a wheelie bin outside. That's the world we live in, Gemini. We can hack it. So, Knight of Wands, this is that Leo energy, new moon energy, speaking up. And it may be somebody else speaking up with you. It's, you know, we got a full moon in Capricorn as well on the 10th in your intimacy and trust sector. That's how it falls for you. And this also means that you're testing how much you mean to somebody or how much something means to you, but also you're testing your own voice and you're testing the voice of other people with you. It's about authentic conversations, and they won't all be authentic either, but you're going to need to choose between what you feel is authentic and what you don't. And there it is, the Two of Wands, the choice. You've got Neptune going retrograde in early July. So for everybody, there is a sense in which clarity is going to become a real commodity. People are going to be like groping about for the truth, wondering about the truth. And this may happen on a wider macro level, but also on a micro level. And normally, Gemini, with Mercury as your ruler, you are kind of kings and queens of the truth, because you know the gossip on the block. You are the gossip on the block. You're the lungs of the zodiac. You're the ones who communicate it. But it's going to be trickier than that. And I feel like it already is. So this is a decision-making card, the Two of Wands. We've always got this guy in his tighty-whities here and his chinos. And he's looking wistfully out to sea. There he is, not just selling pants in a catalogue. Two of Wands is a decision card, but it's a Wands decision card. And it's a lot of fire as well for you. You've got the Knight of Wands, you've got the Two of Wands. I have a feeling that you may do a lot of careful thinking, and then towards the end of the month, you may catch that fire energy in that Leo new moon with the Mercury in Leo and just go, do you know what? Boom, I'm going to do this. And Geminis are very spontaneous people. And this is just my take on it, and let me know in the comments section. I think Geminis are luckier when they are spontaneous. You know, I have a lot and have had a lot of Gemini friends, because Gemini friends are a hoot. I never know what they're going to do next. I'm a Pisces. You have, you're mutable, we're mutable. You're unpredictable, we're unpredictable, but you're unpredictable with energy. So you can go and do loads of stuff. You're drawing in loads of different people, like the lady whose party I went to, meeting all these different eccentric people. How do you know her? How do you know her? It's great. It's an air of celebrity about you, Gemini, and don't ever go losing it. But just underneath it, there is a fundamental decision for you to make, which is going to be very important to your, it's going to be close to your heart. And when it comes to making emotional decisions, well, you tell me in the comments. My reading of Geminis, having watched you for a long time, is that you struggle with making emotional decisions sometimes because your mental energy is raring all over the place. And you can be easily pleased as well. Geminis are happy, from what I've seen, as long as there is interest, different people, different things, different surroundings. But what happens when you settle on something and you need to go deeper than that? What happens then? What's your process? Let me know in the comments section, because it's not the kind of thing I can ask my Gemini friends around me at the moment, because it's a weird question to ask, isn't it? And also, you can't catch them long enough to ask them those sorts of deep questions. They're always off doing this, off doing that. So you tell me. Then we have a curveball. We've got the Nine of Swords, which is definitely your mental and emotional energy, over-analysis versus clear knowing. You must trust your instinct over logic. Pointy finger is coming out, Gemini. Pointy finger is coming out. Trust your instinct. It's messier, but in this occasion, with all of that Leo energy flying around, and Neptune being in retrograde, I think it's in Aries, then it moves back into Pisces for a bit. Thanks. The truth will be thin on the ground, but it certainly won't be found through overthinking, okay? And you will be tempted, because I feel like the thinking part is a comfort blanket for you. And you're very good at it, but it's not going to work. Ooh, it's not going to, yeah, exactly. It's not, oof, God. Just going to kick everything underneath the table now. It's not going to work. If you look at this card, the Seven of Cups. Seven of Cups is when you, it's like there's a fantasy island in the sky and you suddenly have all these, I mean, for me, I love crockery. So this for me would be me in an antique china shop going, oh my God, I want to take it all home. I'm going to stuff it all in my bag. Oh my God. But some of these choices are false and some of these choices are true. You love choices and you just need to be careful. Remember the Seven of Cups that's in the Rider-Waite. You've got like weird costume jewellery, something that looks like a shuttlecock, I know, which I've never worked out what that is. You've got a little phantom ghost thing, but you've also got the laurel wreath of success. So your instinct is right that there is something on the table for you to have here. It could be anything. For some of you, it's a career that you long for, or a person that you long for. It's something you have much deeper feelings about than I think you've been in touch with. You have tried this before, so you've made an attempt at this before, or you've reached for this before, or you've wanted this before. But I feel like for some reason it was a miss. I'm getting a channel message of two planes missing each other, which honestly, in air traffic control, you want two planes to miss each other. It's averting a disaster. So I believe actually, and it's no coincidence, because remember I was just saying that spontaneous action for Geminis is the luckiest action. I believe you dodged something in the way that it was before, even if it doesn't feel like it. Leave me a comment about that. Okay, right, I've made some notes over here because I'm such a scatty person. We're going to look at your mental and emotional energy. We're going to let go of indecision paralysis. And we're going to also, oof, forget what it says on there. We're going to look at the Seven of Swords. What is this? What is this? Okay. When we get the Seven of Swords, and I need to take another card for it. I'm going to take a shadow card. Oh yes, I am. It can sometimes be that there is some slightly sneaky energy around you, and I feel like there is. Often with the Seven of Swords, I can get the idea that it's you that needs to be on the down low, but what I'm feeling is not that. I'm getting a more traditional reading of it. I'm getting that there's some more sneaky energy that's kind of around you, okay? In terms of your life direction as well, and I took the World card for that, which actually isn't too bad, because the World card as a shadow card is talking about a cycle. So think of a cycle of something that was actually not quite true to begin with. it's those two planes missing each other again. I'm all right with that, actually. I can live with that. I'm going to leave the shadow cards just here because I feel like we might need them again. But I also feel, and this could run into your love reading, so I will get your love cards out as well. I feel that there's an important conversation towards the end of the month, more like in the last third of the month, which is a little bit kind of life course altering. Changes the course of your life a bit. Let's just put it that way. Let's have a look at how this blends in with your emotional landscape, relationships. Fiddlesticks. Okay. Let's have a look at the cards on the table, shall we? It's a bit wonky, but, you know, for me, that's not too bad. Right. Let's have a look at your love life with the devil showing up after the Seven of Swords. Cripes, Gemini. Cripes. Okay, I want to take another one. Honest conversations need to happen in your love life. Okay, one way or another. They need to happen across the board. Oh, hello. Where have you gone? Now we've got cards falling on the floor. Oh, gosh. Oof. Oof. Three of Swords. Right. This is a big deal. God. I wanted to put that one there. So we've got three cards here, right, which say a lot. We've got the devil hot on the heels of the Seven of Swords. And we've got the Three of Swords, which is about old emotional wounds. And it can be about not replaying something, but something replaying you is what I get. This is like an old tape or an old recording of something. I'm getting in my channeling a weird, like, and I don't even understand them, like 8-bit recording thing with tape going round wheels. So that indicates to me that this is old feeling. But for some reason, it's relevant now and it's awakened in your current energy. To then get the Knight of Cups, which honestly is quite a nice card. This is like something sparks a movement of some sort. That's what the Knights do, and that's what the Knight of Cups does, an emotional move. So someone's making an emotional move. I'm going to write that down because that's really important. Someone is making an emotional move. Let's see if I can find a pen, Gemini. Right. Tell us a bit more about that, please. Oh, hello. The cards are very willing to, like, cough at the moment. They're like, I'll tell you more. I'll tell you more, Gemini. Ooh, I like that, actually. Queen of Swords. Now, this fits very nicely with your energy. It also came up for Cancerians. But you're the air sign here, and the Queen of Swords, and I also got something about this in terms of finding the emotional limits of a relationship. That was another thing I got. Trying to test or find the emotional limits of a relationship. God. Leaving behind any kind of old toxicity and acknowledging, you know, we can't always solve what our old wounds may be. They are our old wounds. We carry them into the next battlefield, the next relationship, and that's okay. It's ambitious to think, you know, oh, I'll have some therapy and I will cleanse all of these old things. You don't. You know, everywhere you go, there you are, and you bung them on the back of your horse and you keep on riding. So just acknowledging that they are an influence is enough. There is here a message from somebody, or a arrival of somebody, a question, an invitation from somebody, a movement. It sparks a chain of events, and it sparks the need for you to test the limits and to show your limit. I suppose we could call it a boundary, which my theory is, and let me know, Gemini, and I've seen a card that you must have that doesn't want to come out. Why doesn't it want to come out? I think Gemini are a bit like Pisces are with limits, because we're mutable. We're not that fussed. We're just like, well, everything changes. You know, we change, it changes, you change. There's something here about drawing your line in the sand with somebody. Oh my Lord, oh my Lord, oh my Lord, oh my. I wish I could drop the F-bomb. The card that was sticking out that I really didn't want to take, but I had to take, is the Seven of Swords. I'm very glad that we have that Leo new moon and that we've got Mercury and Leo to guide you, because Leo is a very courageous energy. And I feel like fortune's going to favour the brave when it comes to your love life. Whether you are single and it's a first date with someone, or you're in a connection with someone, or something more complex somewhere in between the two, or whatever it is, you're going to need to be the lead when it comes to boundaries and limits. It's going to it's going to test you. Gotta sound like someone's granny from next door. Ooh, did you see what Gemini got? The Lovers. The Lovers. Right. Let me just get me out of the way. I'm very pleased because it's your card. And when I'm doing a reading for a sign and their card shows up, that's always gratifying and brilliant. Okay? It's always power affirming, and it tells me that you're actually going to be using your powers. But it also means the choice. The Lovers always means the choice. And in my experience as a reader, that choice is not usually right now. That choice tends to come in like a season's time. So a season is what, roughly 3 months-ish? But it's not always a calendar season. Sometimes it's an emotional season. But think of it as decision made after a season, because that makes sense to me. Nice. Ding dong, you get the Strength card. Love this for you. So that Leo energy is really showing up. Those of you that have a moon, Venus rising in Leo, or Leo in other parts of your chart, is really, really, really going to help you. It's really going to help you. You also will have a huge affinity with Leo people. That's very, very important. We've also got water signs as well. Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio coming up. So looking at this, you got the Seven of Swords, you got the Devil, you got the Three of Swords. Those three cards together are a problem. You know that they're a problem. You recognize them as a problem. You recognize that you need to let go of indecision, but also over-analysis. You recognize that you can trust your instincts no matter what happened in the past. You can trust your emotional instincts. When the Knight of Cups comes in, which is, it could be a flirtation turning more serious, or a conversation or a message or some news that sparks movement. This puts you forward towards making a decision, but it is a bit of a rocky road, as you can see. It's not completely straightforward. And you bump up against that Seven of Swords again, but I feel like the second Seven of Swords is you keeping yourself on the down low. Geminis are not normally very secretive because you're not supposed to be, but there's something here about recognizing the need to sometimes be quiet and at other times to totally speak up. That you're going to be tested and it's going to come down to your instincts, not your head and your thoughts and your logic. Okay? And again, when you are the hermit, it's going to come down to your instincts then as well. You're not searching for knowledge. You're searching for feelings and instinct. I guess put together, we would call this intuition. Trust instinct over logic every time. Know that up until that full moon in Capricorn on the 10th is a bit of a doozy actually. It's going to be a real clearance job. I always think of Capricorn energy and Saturn energy as, you know, we're going to get a skip and we're going to clear out the house and we're going to get to the back of the wardrobe and all the places that we've never really looked before. So I feel like there's a shedding process with the Capricorn moon where anything that isn't true or in alignment with you, you're going to toss it out like a pair of old socks. Side issue, I once did that. I once got a skip. Like, it was joyous. Because you just hire a skip, you have it outside your house. And I threw out loads and loads of stuff. It was wonderful. And do you know what some people did? Some people went in there and found old pairs of knickers and ran off with them. I know. I really lost my faith in human nature. I was like, seriously? And then the things that you really, because like pair of pants, you know, these days they take up a lot of room. But back then they didn't. Flimsy little things. I was like, why can't you take the awful sort of broken up wardrobe? You've got to take a little thong or whatever. So yeah, that was my skip story. Anyhow, Gemini, this is not for the faint-hearted. Okay? Not for the faint-hearted at all. But most Geminis that I know are not faint-hearted. And this is not about careful planning, overthinking. No, you're going to be flying by the seat of your pants. You're going to be reading the room, reading the emotion, feeling the feelings, keeping yourself on the down low, not blabbing the farm, not speaking up the whole time, but choosing your moment really, really carefully. You have strength on your side. I always think of strength as the kind of lion whispering card. Because it gives you never see the person having to sort of chase down the lion. They've got it. It's like being a lion whisperer. So think of yourself as a lion whisperer this month, okay? Now, this bottom strip of cards, if you want to go deeper into love, into your choices, into emotional alignment, come and join me for the extended. That's where I am going next. We are going to get out, I don't know, we're going to use some weird decks. We're going to clarify these two. We're going to clarify what message is coming in, what person is this, how do they feel, what's going on. Do we need to worry about the Seven of Swords? What hides, what's lurking beneath? And what about this choice with the lovers? Okay? Woof. It will be the first link in the description box underneath this video. Gemini, don't forget to leave me a comment as well about how you process feelings, and I will see you on the other side. Namaste, lovely Geminis, and don't ever go changing.